Good afternoon, Falcons. Welcome to our edition of
Coming soon on video and
welcome to the Atwater High School Facebook Live. We're happy to have you here with us this evening. I'm going to introduce some folks that we're going to have joining us. As our facilitator this evening, we have Mr. Braga. He's joining us across the office here, safely socially distanced. Joining us tonight also is Mr. Hammer. There's Mr. Hammer. Welcome to Mr. Hammer this evening. He's going to be helping us out with some of our questions. Next, we have Mr. Davis. Mr. Davis is one of our new administrators this year. We'd like to welcome him to Atwater High School. We're excited to have him on board with us. And next, Mr. Davis, we have Ms. Fonsavan. Ms. Fonsavan is the AP for student support for attendance and athletics. Last but up next, we have Mr. Wine. Mr. Wine is our athletic director, going to talk to us a little bit tonight about athletics. And then last but not least, we have the famous Mr. Noons joining us this evening. So we're going to be talking with all of our administrators about different topics. Now, what we've done this evening is we've worked our presentations to address the questions that came in. We have questions that we asked for earlier this week and that were submitted. So we took those questions and we worked them into kind of our monologues and questions that we're going to be addressing this evening. So each high school administrator will take turns addressing different topics related to the upcoming school year. For example, Noons, I think we have feedback on one of our mics there, guys. Mr. Noons will be addressing topics related to guidance, schedules, and support for students with IEPs or special populations. Ms. Fonsavan will discuss freshman roundup, pictures, and other items related to her area of responsibility. And the other administrators will be doing the same for their areas of responsibility. We'll do our best tonight to respond to all of the questions that may pop up this evening. If we're unable to address those questions, we'll review and work to address those questions in our next Facebook Live. We're doing a Spanish version tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. And then we're going to do Facebook Live again Saturday at 10 o'clock. So we're looking forward to having the opportunity to communicate with everybody then. As you can see down at the bottom, we've got our contact information that'll be scrolling this evening. So if you have additional questions, feel free to contact some of the numbers that you see at the bottom of the screen for the areas that you're concerned with. And as always, you can email any of our administrators or any of us here at Atwater High School. So we'll go ahead and get started with the question Mr. Braga is going to ask, and we'll start up this evening.
Yep, we got this question a lot. What will the start of this school year look like?
That is a great question, Mr. Braga. The difference between this school year and last school year, as you can imagine, is the whole COVID situation we're dealing with. If this were a normal summer, we would have had our roundup ready to go and all our packets ready to go at the end of June. We know what our dates were. We'd be ready to roll right into fall like we always do year after year. This year was a little bit different. Several things changed over the course of the summer. We were preparing towards the end of June to be able to come back in an A/B format schedule. And some folks being live, giving our families choice and option. But unfortunately, through the month of July, the numbers increased, which took away that opportunity for us to where now we're in a full distance learning format. So with that, what that means for us is school year. What that means for us is we're all going to be on distance learning this year. School will start August 19th. Distance learning is where teachers will provide instruction and assignments online, and students will attend class on their computers live every single day. So the expectation will be that students will attend class online at home as if they were here at school. All students will have a Chromebook and MiFi device to make this possible. One of our biggest hurdles last year was the fact that not all of our students had connectivity. Well, the district took a big jump to knock down that barrier for our students. So not only will all our students have Chromebooks, but all of our students will have MiFi devices also. So they have a dedicated hotspot for online internet learning at their disposal. The exact schedule and start time for that day is still being negotiated, so we don't know exactly what the schedule is going to look like. We will start, we know this for a fact, August 19th, but we'll be sharing in the coming days exactly what that schedule is going to look like for everybody on a day-to-day basis. Like I said before, students will be expected to attend live in class on time every day. And Actually, at this time, I'm going to turn to Mr. Davis here. I'm going to have him discuss kind of how attendance is going to be handled for our students this year. Mr. Davis, are you there?
Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to this evening's broadcast, and I'm really excited to come back to Atwater High. And I just wanted to let you know that attendance is going to be very crucial, and it's an important part of the educational process. And just like you would attend class every single period, you're expected to be logged in for every single class on time when you get your schedule. And Mr. Nunes will talk about that in a little bit, but you're going to be expected to be logged into your classroom session just as if it was a regular class. So attendance is crucial.
Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. Braga, how about our next question?
Yes. How do students or families make in-person visits to campus?
Well, let's go this one. I like that one. Okay. We encourage our students and families to handle items from home via the phone or Zoom as much as possible. We realize there are some issues where our families will need to come to campus, and if they choose to do so, we would like to encourage them to email or call and make an appointment to be on campus. Now, we're certainly going to take care of our folks that will need to come on campus on a walk-up basis, and we're certainly not going to turn anybody away. But we're just trying to avoid groups and crowds on campus. So we're trying to organize that in such a manner. When you arrive to school, there will be an information or a help desk where you'll check in, have some basic questions that'll be asked. We'll just do a quick initial health screen, similar to if you go to many public offices or buildings. They're going to do a quick screen just to make sure that we know who's on campus and that they're not, showing any symptoms to be concerned about. And then from that point, you'll be directed to the area that you need support in. If it's guidance and counseling, you'll be directed to that particular area. If it's technology, we'll have you directed over towards to the library area where our technology for our Chromebooks and MiFis are going to be handled and taken care of. So one thing to also know, we're taking care of all of our business where our community folks are going up to windows. They're not going into the office to make sure we're safe for our staff and our community. So we have office windows that are opened up outside and are available outside with information. So we're trying to make it as user-friendly as possible and also as safe as possible for all of our visitors and our staff as well. So that's basically what families can do for in-person visits to campus.
Kind of to piggyback on the technology piece, how will tech support for Chromebooks and those MiFi devices work?
Freshman Chromebooks will be handed out at the freshman drive-through roundup, which will be Friday, August 17th, according to the alphabetical schedule that was sent in the packet. Ms. Fonsabon's going to discuss this here in a few minutes. So she'll get more details on the freshman roundup. I know there's a lot of questions, and our freshman students and families are a bit concerned about the transition to high school. We're going to take several steps to make sure that we take care of our freshmen coming in. We're going to offer additional support to our freshmen. We're going to have our freshmen roundup. We'll be collecting items from them. Once we start school up, we'll be doing a lot of orientation work with our freshmen to make sure they get a strong start here at Atwater High School. Support for Chromebooks and MiFi devices will be available at AHS during and after school. It's best to call and make an appointment, but we will, of course, like I said before, not turn anyone away. We'll do our best to take care of urgent issues as soon as we can. The tech support number should be on our window screening across Athletics SBO. There it is, technology hotline. So feel free to give them a call to make an appointment if you need help with technology once you receive your Chromebooks and MiFi devices.
I believe you misspoke on just a date, Mr. Theodosio. The freshman Chromebooks will be handed out on Friday, August 14th. You said the 17th, but that'll be on the 14th, correct?
I believe
it's the 14th.
it's the 14th. That's why I have folks here with me to keep me from messing up. All right. Thank you, Mr. Braga. Appreciate that. So August 14th. Very good.
For the freshmen.
For the freshmen.
Got it.
And then for the MiFi devices, I know there's questions for our sophomores, juniors, and seniors. I anticipate those will be handed out the Monday and Tuesday, which would be the 17th and 18th. And we'll be sending out more information on that as it comes up.
Okay, food services. Will there be food services for our students?
There will be food side service for our students, or curbside students. There will be meals for our students. What we found out today is there's going to be two different offerings for the students. I believe it's going to be offered every day. So it'll be a breakfast and a lunch. I want to say it's from 7 to 8 in the morning. Oh, there it is, 7 to 8:30 in the morning and 11 to 12:30 in the afternoon for lunch. So that was just released today. So more information will be coming out about that, but we were going to start this the first day of school, August 19th, and the pickup times will be 7 to 8:30 a.m. and 11 to 12:30 p.m. What's different about this from last spring is this is going to be for Atwater High School students only this year. Now, parents can pick it up, but it's going to be for our Atwater High School students. As of right now, that's the way it's set up and designed.
In these uncertain times, kids aren't on campus, obviously. How can these kids, how can these families stay informed about the happenings at Atwater High? Well,
Our families can stay informed through a couple of different means. We have our social media, which is Atwater High School Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If that's something on your phone or otherwise you can hook into, there's a lot of information we send out on those platforms. In addition, we want to make sure we have the correct email and phone number for our students, contact information to receive Parent Square updates. Parent Square is something that we use on a regular basis to send out information. The district sends it out to our families, and we send out information to our families. If you're not receiving your Parent Square updates or information, please call us, and we want to make sure we have the correct information. We can help you to make sure that you are logged into Parent Square and have that available to you. As always, check the Atwater High School webpage for the latest information, and if all else fails, give us a call at the numbers on the screen. This Facebook Live video will be posted to our webpage for anyone who missed it and wants to access it later. And we do expect to do more Facebook Live events in the coming weeks and throughout the fall. So with that, I think at this time we're going to go ahead and ask Mr. Nunes if he can talk to us a little bit about the guidance part of Atwater High School.
Thank you, Mr. T. Welcome back, everybody. Super excited. And the word we're all talking about, like the word that kind of sums up what we need to do. And all I can think of is together. I think that's the only way we're going to get through this year or this semester is if we work together, and that's parents, administrators, teachers, kids. We all got to be in this together. So the first, I know a lot of questions that are coming in, mostly from kids. Schedules. When am I going to get my schedule? When can I change my classes? So Mr. T has a infographic he's going to share with you. We're talking about class changes. Okay, when we had registration at the beginning of the middle of the school year last year, you guys filled out your registration forms. We signed you up, and we built the schedule based on that. So we do not want lots of class changes unless you have a specific reason, and I listed those reasons in that infographic. So if you have you took summer school and you passed it maybe, or you made a credit recovery class and you passed it and it's on your schedule, you can remove that class and take another class that you want to take. Okay, if you already passed that class. Second, if you were placed in a wrong level class, somehow something got mixed up, we'll change that also. If you're missing a class you need for graduation or for your A through G requirement, we're going to fix that for you too. If you do have an incomplete or missing periods in your class schedule, we'll fix that. And if worst case scenario, which we try to do before you get your schedule, is balance everything out. We want to make sure all our classes are in that mid 30 range. So sometimes we have to change your classes based on this. And again, that's just kind of where we're at with that. So schedules should be released Friday at the end of the day. So you'll be able to log on to your Aries and look at your class schedule and the actual periods, not just your requests. It'll roll over into what periods you have those classes. So end of day Friday, and Mr. Braga will blast that out on social media, and we'll email you guys also. The second thing I kind of want to talk about is the walk-up counseling and what's going on in counseling right now. So counselors are back. Not all of them. They're working on a rotating basis. And we have a video we're going to share out probably after this program. Mr. Braga has a video of all the counselors, kind of a little welcome back video. But Mr. Vargas is subbing for Miss Ochoa, and Mrs. Collins is subbing for Miss Smith. So those emails are active. If you do have questions or concerns, you want to email your counselor. If you do have an issue where you're struggling, and it's on that, also on the infographic. Look, like I said before, we're in this together. There's times where I feel overwhelmed, and I go talk to Mr. Braga. So sometimes you have to talk to people. Okay, we're here for you. So you can walk up. There'll be a check-in at the front of the school. You come to the window. Mr. Hernandez or Miss Beniz or Miss Granado will take care of you, get you kind of set up. We'll check with a counselor who's available, or myself if I can help you. But don't be scared to reach out to counselors. Either email. You can also call that number that's on the bottom of that ticker there, and make an appointment for seeing a counselor. We just need to know ahead of time so we're not kind of overwhelmed in the office and we're social distancing and doing all the safe stuff we need to do. I'm going to talk about everything, Mr. T, right now. I'm getting my whole spiel done.
Yep.
Okay. So Merced college courses, a lot of those have come in this summer too. I sent a flyer out with the CCAP information, and it's actually right here. That's right there. There's K-12 classes or CCAP classes. There's lots of classes you guys can take out in Merced College. Again, you need to contact your counselor. That's your first point of contact. So a lot of you guys email me, and I'll hand it off to the right counselor. You can also email and call Mr. Hernandez. He'll get you taken care of with whatever classes you're interested in taking at Merced College. Remember, there's only so many spots for the CCAP classes. So if you're interested in taking any of those classes, you want to make sure you're reaching out to us, and we're getting that taken care of. And with that being said, there's kind of a process in the Merced College classes. And the first thing you need to do is make sure you're getting registered and getting all that other stuff done. So there's a link actually on this flyer. We're going to send that link out through social media as soon as this presentation is done. So you can attend this workshop if you are interested. That'd be one of the first things you need to do is kind of get in with a Merced College counselor and your high school counselor to make sure you're getting enrolled for all those classes. I'm going to talk a little bit about special education. I'm in the process of making an infographic, and we're going to try to give that to all the case managers and kids. Again, it's going back to, working together and communication. Every case manager, I started calling this week our freshmen just to kind of get them to know the process, what the roundup date is. Case managers also at some point will reach out, especially the freshmen since you're new. Most sophomores, juniors, and seniors know their case managers. And I think really at Atwater High School, every one of our case managers does a great job of building those relationships and making sure your class placement's right, make sure you're on the right teachers, and you're being successful. So most of you guys that are sophomores, juniors, and seniors, your case managers. Feel free to email them or email me. That's kind of where we're at. Most of those schedules are done, but that's the first thing you want to do. And like I said, the freshmen, that's a little different. You don't know us, but we're going to reach out to you and make sure you're off to the right start and you feel like you're welcome and supported here. Most teachers that are in the mainstream classes, they have all the accommodations and modifications. Our case managers are making sure that they know what they need to do, teachers need to do for those students to be successful. And we also have lots of push and support with our case managers, actually team teaching with teachers. So classified staff, there's lots of support. I'll get that infographic done and out to you guys probably on the Saturday Facebook session. I'll have that done. So if you do have a specific special ed question, please email me or call Mr. Hernandez and he'll set up an appointment, or give me your number and I'll call you back. I think that's it for me. If something comes in, let me know. I'll be back in the chat box.
Mr. News, one quick question. When can our students expect to get their schedules?
So the schedules will be live on Aries this Friday, end of day Friday. And at Roundup, our goal is to have those printed with a letter for you when you get your Chromebook. On the freshmen get a hard copy of their schedule. All the other sophomores, juniors, and seniors, they should know how to log on to Aries. after Friday, end of day Friday, and your schedule will populate in there. You'll have your periods and your schedules all in there. So if there's something you think is incorrect with your schedule, or you need a schedule change based on that infographic I shared, then you'll reach out to your counselor or to Mr. Hernandez, and then we'll start that process of looking at your schedule and seeing what we can do to fix it.
All right, very good. Thank you, Mr. Nunes. Next, we'll go to Ms. Fontavon, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about Roundup and some other ASB-related or student-related items.
Hi, everyone. Good to see everybody this evening. We're answering questions in the chat. I don't know if everybody knows that, but if you want to ask questions in the chat, we are all looking at that and answering the questions. Lots of questions on freshman roundup. I'm actually getting messages right now on Parent Square. The freshman roundup, we had to move it into next Friday instead of Wednesday because of the Chromebooks. We want to make sure we have them and we can hand them out to you. So we're going to run that by alphabet. And if you go online, you can see that posted to our website, and it's also on all our social media accounts. At the roundup, your kids will get their Chromebook. They're going to get their schedules, and then fingers crossed, the MiFis are here, they'll get them. If not, we'll have to reschedule for them to come back for their MiFis. There's been questions in the chat regarding their freshman email. When we hand them their Chromebooks, we will give them their email and their password on the Chromebook. So they will be able to access it at that time once we give them the Chromebook. So if there's any more questions on Roundup, please go ahead and put those in the chat. Next is kids are really concerned about IDs. I know the students really like their pictures taken and they really like their IDs, but right now it's just something we're not able to do. But we do plan on scheduling that and having that done in the near future. So just look out for your emails and messages and we will plan that. Same thing for senior photos. I know the seniors really want their senior photos done. It's a very important one, I know that. But again, we can't do them just quite yet at school. You can, however, go to Banks Photography website and you can schedule to go to their studio and take the picture at their studio. That's the only way to get it done ahead of time. Otherwise, that's about all I have for you. Looking forward to meeting all the freshmen, that's for sure.
All right, very good. Thank you very much. Next, we'll go to our athletic director, Mr. Scott Wine.
Hey, welcome, Falcon family. Right now, athletics are suspended, and I know that's not what we all want to hear, but there's some reasons for that. The health and safety of our students and staff, our families, community, that is number one. We will not do anything to endanger that at all. And also, we are going to follow 100% state and county COVID-19 guidelines. So because of that, the CIF state office said that athletics, if things improve, can begin in the second semester. So again, as our COVID-19 numbers, we're anticipating improvement. Obviously, we're all going to do our part, I know, right? Like we all know what we're supposed to do. We can get started with athletics this school year. So our section set up a calendar, and it's in 2 seasons. Season 1 would start in December and go through March, and season 2 would start in February and go through June. And if you want to hear what your sports would be, season 1 would have boys and girls cross country, boys and girls volleyball, boys and girls water polo, and football. Season 2 would have boys and girls soccer, tennis, golf, swimming, wrestling, basketball, track and field, and baseball, softball, and stunt cheer. So what can you do right now? Right now, make sure you have athletics on your class schedule. And again, email me. Mr. Nunes can help you. Counselors will help you if you think you need athletics. It's going to be similar to an online PE class. You'll be logging in, Zooming type things, and coaches will give you some activities. Also, if you're an incoming freshman or if you want to go out for a sport, contact your head coach of that sport. Get a hold of them, and they will get you set up with that sport. So what else can you do in the meantime? We've been pretty successful over the summer is get a sports physical. Be sure you use our athletic participation form. It's online. I'll show you how to get that in a second. And set up an athletic clearance account. So we used to have this 7-page massive document. Most of that, 6 pages are covered in the athletic clearance account. We need 1 page of signatures. We upload your physical date and you're good to go. So Mr. Bragg, can you share my second screen? It's basically the school webpage. There you go. So if you look on the school website, you'll see the athletics menu. There's a couple ways to get to those forms I mentioned. You can go to the athletic director page, and hopefully that loads quickly. you can see that there are teams and schedules. So if you click on teams and schedules, I'm looking for a coach. It's a fall sport. It's cross country. I click on cross country, and there is Mr. Rhodes' contact information. Coach Rhodes right there for cross country. Sorry, guys. Takes a second. And the other item you want to look for, athletic forms. You click on athletic forms, and you'll see Merced Union High School District athletic participation form. And that is basically the one sheet that we need for you to fill out. There it is with your information. And also page 2 has information on how to make your athleticclearance.com account. So again, Atwater High School webpage, and then go to the athletics drop-down menu, and you can find those 2 items. If you get stuck, if you have any issues, email me, and I will take care of you. Mr. Braga, can you go back to my beautiful face?
There you are.
Thank you. Maybe they didn't want to see that. So what we did Phase A summer workouts for 3 weeks, June 22nd, July 10th. We were distanced. We were outdoors, cohort conditioning. But because of the county numbers, the COVID numbers, we were shut down. But the good thing about that, well, not the good thing about that, but what happened in that time period is we had over 400 student athletes cleared to participate in athletics. So we got the bulk, even some incoming freshmen. We got a lot of you guys cleared. What we will do, when we are okayed by the county, we're going to return to those Phase A workouts. And then as we continue to improve our numbers, we can start what we're calling Phase B workouts, which would be some equipment. We can start going indoors, gym, weight room, obviously distancing. We got to be, sanitary about it. We'll be in small groups, but we can get inside and start doing some things, if you're on the basketball court, that type of stuff. And then we can start planning for what we're calling Phase C. What is Phase C? That's where we get to those practices, and in the future, we get back to those games and we prepare for those December and January dates. So how's this all going to happen? Real simple. We got to improve our COVID-19 numbers countywide. So if we do that, we get cleared by the state and the county, and then our district and our sites, as we're going to be doing right now, we're preparing to transition safely into those practices and games. So for right now, we got to focus on returning to learning. Yes, I made that up by myself. Returning to learning. And then after Labor Day, we're going to hope that those numbers are going to start dropping. And as they start dropping, we'll crank up Phase A again, start looking at Phase B, start planning on Phase C. So Falcons, hey, be safe, be ready, and we'll get back to athletics as soon as we can. We're working on it.
Excellent. We're all excited about that. Another initiative that's going on by the district right now is the SOS initiative to Save Our School Year, which encourages everyone to mask up. There you go. Everybody's got their masks. Everybody to mask up in an effort to save our school year. Do what you can to help us out to get our kids back to school. That's what we're after. One more thing I wanted to add, if you missed any part of this, we will have this posted on our webpage, and we will also have it on YouTube as well for anybody that wants to go back and review any part of this video. Now, the next thing we're going to go to, I imagine there's probably a few questions about what distance learning is going to look like and how it's going to happen for kids. So we're going to go to our AP for Teaching and Learning, Dr. Hammer. Mr. Hammer, can you enlighten us on what distance learning is going to look like and what we can expect this year?
Can you share my screen?
Absolutely can.
You got it. All right, Mike Hammer. I'm Associate Principal of Teaching and Learning. First off, let me talk about our 4 pillars. I always want to remind folks of what we believe is important: community, respect, innovation, and imagination. And we're going to do that at a distance. What I'm going over right now is how does distance learning work? We're going to talk the basics. And already some of my peers, they've stolen my thunder, really, when I think about it. They're giving it away. But I'm going to give you the basics. We're going to have a regular school day, regular schedule. What that looks like, we don't know right now. But we will have a schedule, and we'll follow that. It's going to be real school. We're just at a distance. That's all we got to be thinking like that. Attendance. Students will use a meeting code. They'll log into class sessions on time. Like Mr. Davis said, they'll be turnkey ready to go. They'll log into their class sessions from the Chromebook. Everybody's got a Chromebook, and everybody will have some connectivity. We've got the MiFi's ready to go, so we've removed that barrier. There'll be daily instruction. Teachers will teach well-planned, standard-based lessons online daily. That's via Zoom or Google Meet, likely Zoom. There's going to be opportunities for face-to-face while there is distance learning. There'll be lessons, there'll be interaction, there'll be breakout rooms. It's good. Our idea is to keep it rigorous, be able to be collaborative, be able to communicate, be creative, and practice critical thinking. Students will have opportunities to interact with their peers, with their teachers, and engage with their peers online. We have a lot of strategies. We'll be doing some workshops with our teachers to beef that up, but we've done a lot of tech integration. Our teachers are well suited to this. Students, they'll be assigned independent coursework. Students will have opportunities to complete these assignments outside of class time, homework, projects. So that's, you've heard these fancy terms, synchronous, asynchronous. Asynchronous, that's when they're doing that independently, online, digital assignments. And then the synchronous when they're with their teachers. So we're having class every day, every period. Let me go to some tips real quickly. This is prepared by our Ed Services Department. They've done a wonderful job preparing us to prepare our teachers, to prepare our students for success. Okay, this is how to be successful if you're a student, and I'll crank through it. Dedicate appropriate time to learning. A lot of times we don't give it the time and attention we need to. Let's make sure that happens. 2, check your email and log into Canvas. Some folks may be using, teachers may be using Google Classroom, but check for information, check for assignments and resources. That's daily. 3, check your grades, double check your assignment submissions. Make sure it's turned in when you get credit when you're trying to show what you know. Ensure that you know your usernames and passwords for instructional resources. We've got a variety of tools and apps that the teachers are using. There's going to be a lot of those passwords and such. Make sure you have that. Keep it a safe place. Don't forget, be successful. Identify a comfortable and quiet space to learn. And study for both synchronous with your class and asynchronous on your own. Have a protected area. Our teachers will be in basically teaching studios is what we're looking for. You're going to be in your digital classroom at home. So make sure you have a protected space. 6, actively engage in online learning activities. We're going to be asked to do breakout rooms to provide discussion threads. Make sure you work to participate, jump in, get engaged. Okay. Submit all assignments by due dates established by your teachers. We got to stay organized. That's just part of what we do as Falcons. Okay. Ask questions when needed and take advantage of teachers' office hours and extra help. We will be providing bilingual support through bilingual paraprofessionals and bilingual tutors. We also have a plan for our assistance with our special education students. So take full advantage of all of it. Understand basic troubleshooting strategy. You guys are the students of the digital natives, okay? But still, some of these little programs have some quirks. Your Chromebook, you got to be able to solve some of the problems. It'll be helpful as you're troubleshooting and working through distance learning. Mr. Theodosio, have I time to offer something for the families?
Absolutely.
Short and sweet.
Okay.
Parents, guardians, this is for you. Okay, how to support your student in distance learning. Ensure that a mobile device and internet access are available at home. We've removed that barrier. We know you'll have that. We're here to support you. Monitor district communications for up-to-date information regarding school closures, instructional plans, and distance learning resources. Follow us on social media. Look for Parent Square. Make sure your information is correct. And that's the cell number that you give so that you can get text messages, and your email address so you get our information. We're going through great lengths to communicate, but we need to get it to you. Visit the MUHSD website for resources and up-to-date information on distance learning, as well as the Atwater High School website. If you are not connected to the parent portal, log into Aries. Get that set up. You can call us at the guidance office and we'll get you hooked up. It's important that you can monitor your student success. Check frequently as to attendance, grades, and their progress. You have access. A lot of people don't know that. You got to take advantage of it, but that's through Aries. Ensure that your child knows their usernames. This is the extra support in case they forget. Make sure they have a place where they can access their passwords should they forget, and encourage their participation. Okay, it's important that they get involved. Maintain communication with your child's teacher and guidance counselor. Our guidance department has been on point. Our teachers have guaranteed 2 ways to communicate, whether that be email, whether it's a phone call, whether it's Remind app or Parent Square. So they will communicate with you, but if you need to talk, please contact your teacher, your students' teachers. Engage your children in conversations. Ask them how they're doing regarding their assignment. Where are they at? What are they learning about? Are they up to par? And then check that by logging into Aries. Monitor time spent in online and offline learning. They're going to have to invest time in what we're doing. Being on the computer and distance learning aren't the same. Okay, so we're going to make sure that they're focused and participating. I will be sending out some information on our parent resource nights. That'll be done through Zoom, as well as our English Learner Advisory Committee. And then we'll be looking for a few parents to participate in our school site council. So I'll push that out via Parent Square as well. Class 81 rules, I got to say that, Atwater Falcon. And I'm glad we're going to be able to talk like this. You can get a hold of me at 325-1206, all things AP, all things testing, all things parent involvement, and I do some CTE as well. I'll be happy to help you.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Hammer. I know that throughout the presentation that our APs have been online. They've been answering questions. Again, we're going to monitor the questions that come in even after this broadcast or this Facebook Live presentation. And we will be addressing those in our Saturday presentation, Saturday at 10 o'clock. So we're going to return with hopefully a little bit more detailed information Saturday at 10 o'clock. We'll be doing this all over again with some new information. And then tomorrow evening, we're going to be presenting this with Spanish interpretation for our Spanish-speaking families that are out there. So we're looking forward to connecting with everybody. So again, if you have questions, you have thoughts, if you want to share this with somebody, it's going to be available on social media. And we're looking for this to be a good resource for some information and communication with all of our stakeholders for Atwater High School. And with that, I just want to thank our Atwater community for your support now, but also your support over the years. We're very, very fortunate to be in a community with parents and community members and businesses that support our high school and our high school students year after year so well. We very much appreciate that and appreciate your ongoing continued support. This is an interesting year that we're in. I think Mr. Noon said it well when he said we're all in this together. It is a true partnership with our administrators, our teachers, our parents, our community, and our students. And with all of us communicating and working together, we'll look forward to having a great year for our students and getting them through this difficult time that we're in right now. So when we come back, we'll come back strong and we'll move on and we'll have a great time. So we're going to look forward to doing that. So please reach out. You have our contact information here. We're here to help. We're here to serve our community and our parents and our students. So, Mr. Braga, are there a lot of other questions that are out there right now?
No, Mrs. Fonsavon can type really fast, so we're good.
Right. We'll continue to monitor that, and we'll bring back our questions and answers and updated information the next time that we log on with you. So with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. And please feel free to contact us again. Like I said, anytime you have any questions, we're going to be here. Didn't have everybody on board throughout the summer. Folks are here at different times, but we're all here and we're all going fast right now to get ready to have our students return. So with that, we're going to go ahead and end the live broadcast, and we'll be seeing you all real soon. Thank you to our team that's here presenting this evening. You guys did a fantastic job. Appreciate you all. Well done, and we'll be seeing everybody soon. Take care.